Hey guys, this is Kakala and I'm gonna make a video about how to make ESC as a day zero starter. So we're gonna have this fit. This is, we got 2 salvagers and just some basic items. Our goal is to go into the Triglavian space and salvage. And I'm gonna show you, explain you how to do it. You can basically do this after you complete the tutorial in Evoline. It's actually, you don't need no skills. It's literally very simple to do it. And for example, if you cannot equip both, if you don't have that enough power grid, you can just equip just one. I would prefer the 5M cold gas enduring Microwarpdrive instead. Yeah, we are gonna go into space. I'm gonna show you. So we have a simple Triglavian activator filament that will get us there. And I just like having loot cargo. You can have that into your ship. This fit costs only 207,000 ESC. It's literally it's like very low cost, and you can make a lot of money even like on day 0 of starting EVE Online. Day 1, not even day 1. So I'm gonna explain how you have to do it. I'm at Cheetah 4.4. This is the main trading hub of the EVE Online, and we are just gonna warp to like one of the planets. And what we are going to do is just to activate the Triglavian filament that we have. And after we activate it, I'm just going to show you how to find those sites that you will be able to loot and salvage. And you're going to make a lot of money. And it's very simple. I'm going to give you also an exit plan too. So we're going to use this filament, and I think we need to. So you need to set the safety to be at least yellow. But you can do it red, but I think yellow it's good enough. And then you can activate the filament. Oh shit! I forget. Then you need to create a fleet. So you go hover this 3 dots, and then you go under social fleets, and under fleet finder you have here fleet, and then you just form a fleet, and there you go. And I think you can activate it now. There you go. Alright, let me see. So it just takes a little bit of time until the Triglavian space trace will gonna activate. Yeah, we're kind of late. I mean, you don't have to just go any other. We don't have to go far away or anything. Gonna wait for the activation, and once that ends, we can just go in. And the filaments, whatever filaments that you pick, it doesn't matter. From the Triglavian, it plays really no role. Now I'm gonna try to activate. We're gonna go in, and I'm gonna explain you on what to do once you land it. So you have the prop scanner, which could be found here under scanners and prop scanners. You click on that, and what you're gonna try to look for is is to find observatory, stellar fleet, Edacom. Those are not the one that you're looking for. We're gonna ignore all those, and we are just gonna jump to some gates. It doesn't really matter which one. We are gonna look for a specific site where NPC will just spawn. I mean, careful. Once you're in this space, you are in danger, so you could lose your ship, but I mean, you don't lose that much. You have a very cheap ship also with, you know, very cheap implants. And I mean, it really doesn't take you much. So we got 15 minutes until we can activate an exit, but that's more than enough. So we jumped, we selected like one of the gates, we jumped over it. We couldn't find anything on this. So you can find that under anomalies as well if you right click on the screen or hover on anomalies. What we're looking for is just like observatory. If you find something on combat that says observatory, then that's the site you should warp to. There you go. I'm gonna look for stellar fleet. Nothing here. We're gonna ignore all these other results, and we're gonna keep on moving. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep jumping between gates until we find one of those sites. Yeah, so it's kind of dangerous in here if you're like with expensive ships, but you know, if we're getting killed, that's not a big deal. It's really not. You can just respawn it with your pod wherever you are. You can just keep on going. And yeah, there you go. We arrived. Won't take that much. Yeah, we're gonna keep looking for the observatory. If we don't find, it might take you a little bit until you find one. So stick with me. Triglavian space is really big. You only have to jump between gates. You don't have to scan for that specific site. And also, if you look at, I don't have an exit. It's like, well, what am I doing? Well, is that because you can find actually filaments in the loot that we got there that will give you an exit. Plus, also you can just dock. There are stations in this Triglavian space where you can dock your loot, and that's what we're probably gonna do. But you can actually just, you know, fill up your cargo with loot and salvage and get out. That's also a possibility. Alright, let me just get rid of that. Alright, any observatory? No. I like to just clear everything when on the prop scanner because I know that I was in that system. Also because if any sites spawn once we, you know, we'll see that. Once we, let's just say, do a round around. Also, so you know the space of the Triglavian, it's like a triangle. It's literally like a triangle of systems connected, and on the edges there are like a couple of more systems that you might need a good standing with Triglavian to enter into. So you know, so you have like an image of where you are actually traveling. But yeah, welcome to you if you're a new player. I'm gonna explain to you here how to make some quick ESC. At the moment we're just jumping between gates. Not much going on. Okay.
Warp drive active.
Oh, I already jumped to the other gate. I haven't even checked if there is any sites that we're looking for. Yeah, it seems like we haven't got lucky and found any of those sites that we're looking for at the moment. I don't see any observatory. So the site that is there is just a clash between NPCs, and those NPCs drop a lot of loot and salvage. Now the thing is, you can actually just start salvaging once you're on the site. The NPCs won't kill you, but the players will. So because those sites might be popular, there might be other players trying to hunt you down. So be careful. And it's not a big deal if you die, but you don't wanna just die. Alright, we're gonna ignore all the other results and keep on going. I mean, there's a lot of systems. For the moment, we haven't found any of those sites that we're looking for. So, unfortunately, for the video, I'm doing this live or on one record, so stick with me while I'm trying to explain what to look for in this Triglavian space. As you can see, you might notice that the warp time is slower in here. There's a warp penalty, so it will take you a longer time to just warp between stations or gates. Let me see. It's just not those sites that I'm looking for. I mean, I can warp to one of those, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Unless I'm crazy. I haven't been here for a while, so it might be something that I'm missing, but I'm pretty sure the name of it's Observatory. But let's take a look. So when I warp to one of those sites, I warp to 100 because I'm very squishy, and if I get shot by one of the NPCs, I'm just gonna get killed. Yeah, that's not the site. There you go. If you see a gate, then it's definitely not the site that you're looking for. Alright. Also, where did I came from? I have no idea. I think I came from Como, but I'm not sure. Also, I think you might be able to see this on the map, on the Triglavian space. Let me see. Ah yes, there you go. This is where we are. So the Triglavian is right in the middle. You can see all the sites here. And yeah, I think we're jumping to a tower or something. So those sites, like right on the edge from the map, you need standing. You need good standing with Triglavian. I think you need +3 at least. So you need to do missions or whatever to increase the standing to even enter into those sites. But for the moment, let me take a look at what site I cannot go into. Kino, then it's Salvager. Okay. So we're just gonna warp to Salvager. So you can do it by yourself and try to check it out if you can actually enter Kino, but I'm pretty sure you cannot. You need good standing. at it. Alright, let's just ignore. Yeah, so you just look for those sites. It might be a thing that other players already did those sites, but they keep respawning, so you might need to do a couple of laps in order to find those sites. I'm pretty sure we'll find some eventually, but if we don't, then I'm really just unlucky. Sometimes if you're, you can activate the filament, you just get right into one of those sites and start loading and salvaging. But yeah, we got time. We have 50 minutes time. I mean, after the 50 minutes time, it's not like something's gonna happen. It means like you can just get out. Also, where? Let me keep taking a look at the map. We need to go to Konola.
Warp drive active.
Stellar, first communication, yeah, that's none of those. Alright, we're gonna keep ignoring. Yeah, and it's actually a good learning, experience. You just jump between gates. It's a really simple exercise as a new player to do this. Where you get to see a little bit of the beauty of the evil line. You see the planets. You see, Also, as you can see, there's nobody in local. It's not because there might not be anyone in the local. It just means that if you don't talk into the local, the people are not going to get to show up. And there you go. We found our first site. That's the observatory. We're going to warp to 100 first. Let's ignore all the other results. So if you see observatory, that's the site. That's where you want to be. Took us a couple of jumps until we found one. But here we are. I warped to 100 because it's just safe. I don't want to, get jumped or anything. Okay, let me see. I don't see any NPCs. Ah, there you go. There you go. I was like, what? There's nobody here? It is. Alright. As you can see, there's loot. You can pick up the loot. And you can start actually salvaging. I mean, depending on your step. Oh shit, actually. Please don't get me killed now. There you go. Shit. I did this wrong. So the thing is, there will be a battle there. We found the site. Now the thing is, we need to wait until the sites get cleared because I have bad standing, or you might actually just be attacked by one of the sites. And you don't want to just, to do that. So we're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna get out. I was lucky to get out there from there. But yeah, that's the site, the observatory site that you actually need to look for. Seems like the time already just ran out. We're gonna warp to 100. And we're still warping. It's because of my overview, guys. I was like I was not able to see the NPCs, but I might need to just add them to overview manually. I was wondering what the hell. There's no NPCs here. There's definitely NPCs under loot. So yep. So the thing is, now that we found it, I warped to 100, and what I'm basically gonna do is just bookmark this site, and I can either just wait until all the NPCs get killed, or I can just start looking for another observatory. But for the sake of this video, I'm only just gonna bookmark, and I guess I'm gonna warp to one of the planets back. While there's still a battle there. So it will take a couple of minutes, but once you're on the site, once you warp to that site, the NPCs start battling. So the timer actually starts when Rex are gonna be there. So until then, we could either just look for a more observatory sites and keep on jumping, looking for some and bookmarking them and coming there later, or you can just wait. I don't want to just go to other I don't want to just go to other system at the moment and not in the mood to just keep on looking for, but it's something that you can do. What I'm gonna do instead is, as you can see, some of the solar systems in here already have NPC stations that you can dock to, just like the regular ones. So you can just drop your loot by at those stations and come later with a ship that can transport all those stuff. Or you can just wait at the station for the timer. Being in an NPC station is the safest thing in Evil 9. There's no way that your assets or ships can die, but once you're undocked from the station, you're no longer safe. Just put it that way. But yeah, that's the site. We're gonna dock a little bit, then we're probably gonna take a look. As you can see, there's other people here too. We got a Heron. Even if you don't see them in local. So it's kind of a little bit like the wormholes, but the difference is that there are stations actually, and there's some other things, other factors. So let's just work back towards bookmark. You can bookmark by just pressing Control B and save. It shouldn't take that much longer until the NPC gets cleared by each other. So, and we can start actually just scooping the loot and salvaging the goods. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna take up the loot. You can do either or. You don't have to do both. There we go. Now there are no more NPCs to fear, so all you have to do is just start scooping up the loot. And we're gonna do that. I like the Afterburner rather than the Microwarpdrive, because the Microwarpdrive might bounce off too far from the cargo and you won't be able to loot. You need to be like at a certain distance to loot something. That's not much, but fine. So you just target those and use your salvager. This one can drop into the loot. But yeah, we're gonna salvage this, but you should first loot and then salvage, because loot can be picked up by anyone that comes on the site. Salvaging cannot. Also, you could get tier 2 salvage stuff, which is very valuable. The thing that I chose to loot is this container is just because it gives you extra space. Oh, there you go. Now I got found. I got ambushed. There you go. I mean, that'll be all for the video. I'm gonna self-destruct. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, you saw. There's definitely some dangers. Apparently, wasn't lucky with the finding those sites, or but yeah, you gotta be careful. As you can see, I got ganked. Sometimes people will just leave you alone because you're just literally a Corvette. But yeah, so you scoop, you loot those sites, and I'm gonna show you one more thing. Once you into those sites, let me see. So after the 15-minute timer, you can so you use one of the filaments to get in, and there's like a filament to get out. And you could, once you loot those sites, you can find either one of those two. The more valuable one is the proximity. This will get you closer to a known space. So if you use this exit, you'll be closer. And this is like a battle. You can be somewhere farther away from high sec. So it really depends. I would, if you have a lot of loot, obviously you should take this exit. If you have just a Corvette or whatever, your own ship, you can definitely use just this one. So yeah, that's about it. It's about the video. Hope you guys like it. Leave a like, subscribe for more independence, or how to get rich in Eve. Bye bye.